Yes, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel where today I'm going to be doing a season review at Middlesbrough Football Club. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe with that red button. So yeah, this season, a load of positives, a few negatives, some quality away days, but overall I reckon things are on the up. In this video I'm going to be discussing stuff like the recruitment, best away days, worst away days, best performance, best player, worst performance and all that type of thing, and basically looking forward to next season because I really think we are on the up right now and things are looking positive. Now let's start off with recruitment. Losing Akpom, Archer, Ramsey, all them players we lost last year, what was it? It must have been about 50 goals. Losing them, it was always going to be a tough start. So all in all, I think finishing where we did, just outside the playoffs, with a much weaker squad, is some achievement. So hats off to Kieran Scott and the recruitment team, because what they've brought in have overall been decent. But losing Akpom, Archer and co made me realise just what a massive opportunity it was last season. That was our year, but we basically bottled it. The players we had, we probably would have signed a few of those in the Prem. I know Archer, Ramsey have gone on to the Prem and haven't done great things, but I think last season when that was our year and it was such a massive opportunity. Anyway, on to the signings. I think at the start of the season, when Latte wasn't banging in goals, I think there was a few questions being asked about the recruitment strategy and the players that they've brought in. But come the end of the season, I think we've made some quality top signings and they've proved it with their goals, with their performances. I just hope we kick on next season and keep them in the summer. Let's start off with the good. Vandenberg, Dieng, Azaz, and the man of the moment, obviously, Emmanuel Latte, who is absolutely banging them in come the end of the season. He had a few injuries throughout the season. I was actually there at West Brom for his first goal when he scored that header, and no way did I think he'd finish on, what was it, 18 goals this season? Was never thinking that. I know it's not Akpom's 29 or whatever, but a solid start for him in an injury-ravaged season. So fair play to Latte because he's been quality. So the others that I mentioned, Vandenberg, Dieng and Azaz. I think Azaz is going to become a really, really important player going forward. Loans, I'd keep Luke Ayling. A few people questioned him at the start, but he's been quality, especially going forward and providing assists. So I'll keep him, even just for the experience. His legs aren't gone. He can put a shift in. He does provide assists. I'll keep Luke Ayling and probably keep O'Brien as well, if possible. Just for that squad rotation in the middle of the park, I think he could be a decent player, an important player for us. But then the others I'm not really too fussed about, to be honest. Probably just let them go. See you later, wish them well, and crack on with the rest of their careers. So overall recruitment, I think they've been really good. I think we've got some players banging form. Vandenberg's been quality all year, won a couple of awards that the Player of Awards do. Latte's banging them in, as I've said before. Azaz is coming good, so I think that's a quality and a really, really good sign. Morgan Rogers, bought him for nothing, sold him on for a massive profit. That's a quality bit of business for us. And then also the loans as well. Although they haven't set the world on fire, most of them, they've come in and they have done a job. So I think overall recruitment has been decent. Now, onto the season from a more personal point of view, looking at best away days, best games, best players, best goals, that type of thing, and also the worst, obviously, as well. So for me, best away day. For me, it's out of 2. I've had a few. I think Watford was good. What else is there? Southampton was good as well. We've got that draw. Port Vale was a really good, like we're obviously expected to win, but the fact it was felt like a proper cup tie, Port Vale, in that old stadium. What was it, 3,000 Boro fans there on a cold December night. That was quality. Obviously ran out easy winners there, 3-0. But then I think my favourite has to be Leicester away, because we went there with no expectation in the world. I think the season was just sort of drifting out at that stage before we went on this quality run at the back end of the season. Yeah, the season was just fizzling out. We went to Leicester. We thought, nah, doesn't matter what happens today. Let's just have a good time. No chance we're going to beat them. I think they hadn't gone on their slip yet. I think we were the first game or second game where they slipped up and went on that horrible run. So we got to the King Power. I felt a bit good, and I was thinking, you know what, we could actually do these. Walked in the turnstiles, and the Borough end downstairs in the concourse was popping off. Beers being thrown in the air, people on shoulders, songs going. And I thought, you know what, we're going to do these. Got out to the seats, and the atmosphere was quality. And then we went 1-0 up, 2-0 up, and obviously Jamie Vardy came and scored last minute, was it? But yeah, Leicester for me, unreal away day. Obviously they went up champions and well deserved, but to get 6 points off those, very, very good. And that leads me on nicely to the worst away day. The biggest drubbing we got was obviously Chelsea 6-1, which wasn't great, but we weren't expected to win. So that's not my worst away day. It's probably the most disappointing, but not my worst. The worst away day for me was West Brom away. We just looked awful. Looked like we didn't have a clue what we were doing that day. Absolutely shocking. West Brom weren't great, but we just kept giving them goals. Backing off them, they just banging them in left, right and centre. Same happened last year, I think. I went to West Brom, and what's it? DK up front. I think he scored 2, and we were 2-0 down in 5 minutes. My record at West Brom is shocking. And this season, I walked out and I said, that's going to be worst performance of the season. And it definitely was for me the worst away day. And I was driving as well, so I couldn't have a beer, so that made it 10 times worse. So yeah, West Brom away for me, worst of the season. Best performance. I think this one for me is the obvious one. I was absolutely gutted. I couldn't get up for it. I was ill. But yeah, it's got to be Chelsea at home. Chelsea at home. Even watching it on TV, I was gutted I weren't there. I felt like I proper missed out on that. Even though they missed a load of chances, Cole Palmer could have had a hat-trick. Glover was a bit shaky in goal as well. I know he made a few saves, but he also parried one out straight to Palmer, did he? But when Hackney scored, I just knew we were going to win. And the fact Hackney scored, obviously coming through the academy, local lad and that, beating Chelsea, who haven't had the best season, but beating Chelsea anytime. We don't have the best record against Chelsea in recent history. So yeah, for me, best performance of the season, Chelsea all day long. Now on to worst performance of the season. There's been a few, but the fact we haven't picked up hardly any points against the bottom lot, Rotherham, Plymouth, Stoke beat us a couple of times. I think they've got to go down. But I think that Plymouth game, many have said, I think my granddad even said to me, that Plymouth game is the worst game he's ever seen in his life from a Boro point of view. I think it just come after that Leicester game. We'd just beaten Leicester. And I said in my video I did at Leicester, in my YouTube video, I said, this is typical us. We'll beat Leicester, top of the league. We'll go to Plymouth and we'll get pumped. Plymouth will come to the Riverside and we'll get pumped. What happened? Just didn't turn up. But then also, getting 1 point from a possible 6 against Rotherham after peppering them all game is shocking. If we win those 2 games, we're in the playoffs. That's a difference. So yeah, it's got to be those. Either or. Plymouth or Rotherham, probably. But also West Brom was shocking. Now, on to best goal. I've seen a few in the flesh. Riley McGree against Watford, I loved because it was a quality team goal. And he finished it nicely with his, was it right foot or left foot? But it was in the sun. We just started winning after that horrible run of 7 games without a win. So McGree was good, but it's got to be Sam Greenwood, isn't it? Sam Greenwood, Leicester. I think he won the goal of the season for the official club awards. Sam Greenwood against Leicester again, doing a double over Leicester. But then we can't beat your Rotherhams and Plymouths and that. Typical. But yeah, Sam Greenwood was late on in the game as well. I think I was going out that night and it was getting dark because it was obviously November, December. And that went in and I was like, yes, get the beers out. Let's celebrate. So yeah, I think Sam Green was probably good. I like Matt Clark's the other day. Who was that against? Cardiff? Decent finish. We've had a few this season, to be fair. Some nice team goals as well. But we don't have the days where you had your Rockenbachs and Hasselbanks banging them in from 30 yards. Howson has a few efforts, but they just go into Rose Ed. Barlasser goes out for a throw-in, usually. So, yeah, probably that Greenwood goal. I'm a big sucker for long ranges. Rockenbach against Man City in 2009, was it? That's the one. Biggest disappointment of the season. Now, this for me, just on a personal note, probably is for everyone actually, but I know we weren't expected to beat Chelsea, but the way we just bent over and let them just run riot. Like, it doesn't matter if that was Chelsea or Redcar Athletic, they would have beat us 6-1 because we just give them the goals. Give them the goals. Yeah. And the fact that there was such a build-up, I was absolutely buzzing for it. I'd obviously missed the first leg because I was ill, which was early January, and then this one was at the end of January. So I'm constantly building up for it. Got Chelsea away soon, and then what? 1-0 down, 2-0 down, 3-0 down after 30 minutes. And then obviously end up losing 6-1. So I think that was the most deflated moment. And yes, I know it's Chelsea, and yes, we don't have a good record against Chelsea. Yes, they've spent £1 billion, and yes, we're Championship and they're Premier League. But the fact we went in 1-0 up and then went out with a whimper was the biggest disappointment. But the crowd was unbelievable, and everyone drinking in Earl's Court during the day and that was quality. So Chelsea was a good away day, but a proper disappointment on the pitch. Now, on to best player. He's won 2 awards at the official club award evening. It's got to be Van den Berg. He's what? Under 20? 18? 19? He looks like he's about 27. A proper mature player. He's come to our rescue so many times this season. I think against QPR, they were one-on-one and he just got a toe to it. He's had a few goal line clearances. But the way he does it is so low-key. It's so cool, calm, collected. A bit like Van Dijk used to be a few seasons ago when Liverpool won the league. Like when he got the ball, you were confident in him going forward. But if Dale Fry or someone gets the ball, you're a bit like on your seat. And he usually gets through and then makes a pass. But with Van den Berg on the ball, you know 9 times out of 10 he's going to find someone or he's going to do something or keep the ball at least. Ball retention, massive. So yeah, Van den Berg, obviously player of the season for me. But we've had a few others. Latte Lass coming into form at the end of the season. Johnny Howson. Unreal news that he's just signed. I know he's cracking on, 36 or whatever, but his experience is invaluable, especially with the youngers coming through. So, yeah, loads of decent performances this season. But I think throughout the season as a whole, it's got to be Rav. And to wrap this video up, let's have a look at the positives for next season because I am looking really, really positive. If it was any other season, Pulis, Warnock, Wilder, and we just missed out on the playoffs, we'd be fuming. How have we not got the playoffs with this squad and all this type of thing? Especially with the squad we had last year and the expectation this year under Carrick. Everyone expected us to just, I think we were favourites at the start of the season with like betting companies, a lot of them as well, to go up. So the fact we missed out on promotion and the playoffs, any other manager, the fans would be fuming. But the fact that they think they know we're onto a good thing, they haven't turned against Carrick yet. Obviously you get a few idiots on Twitter that have. But the fact the majority of fans are still on his side and want Carrick in and think next season is the one for us, we're building for next season, I think that is a massive, massive plus. And obviously, Latte Lath, end of the season, banging the goals in. I just mentioned Johnny Howson, just signed a new contract. You've got the youngsters coming through that start at the end of the season. They might play a part next season. Howson could have a massive, massive impact on those in terms of bringing them through. Another thing, our injuries this season has been ridiculous. Lenihan, probably our best defender, has been out the whole season. O'Brien was out for a bit. McGree comes back, then goes back again, gets injured. A lot of people say he's our best player, and he's hardly played, really. So when they come back next season, there might be a bit of a selection dilemma. Who comes in, who goes out, and stuff like that. But they're sort of forgotten about players that are very, very good, probably a top 5 in the club, and haven't hardly had a kick this season. So they'll come back into the fold next season, and obviously new additions that we signed in the summer. Another one, the current run that we're on. I know we lost against Leeds, but other than that, we've seen off Leicester, drew against Southampton, took 4 points off those. The Leeds game we were unlucky. It should have at least been a draw if the lino went to Specsavers. So there's loads of positives from the end of the season. We've beat the teams we should have beaten comfortably. Cardiff, Watford. So there's lots to look forward to. We're on a decent run. Obviously, we usually start slow, so I'm hoping next season we learn from this season's mistakes. Because going 7 games without a win is shocking, and just 2 of those games, if we'd have won, we'd have been in the playoffs. So we need to learn from the mistakes of this year and go into next season on a high, start fresh, and hopefully we don't lose Howson, Carrick as well. Van den Berg, people will be sniffing around him. Latte Lath even. So that's the priority for next season. And lastly, I don't think the Championship will be as tough as it was this year. Leicester, Leeds and Southampton are 3 massive teams. You've got Sheffield United coming down. They've had one of the worst seasons the Prem has ever seen. They've been shocking. And Wilder's going to be in charge as well. So hopefully we do those home and away. And then we've got, who else is there? Luton are probably going to come down. And to be fair, Luton have made a proper go of it. And I respect Luton. They haven't tried doing tippy-tappy football. They've played to their strengths and they've done very, very well, to be fair. And who's the other one? Burnley. Burnley probably will be down as well. I know they're not confirmed yet, but they're probably going to be down and they will be tough next season, I think, especially under Company, because I don't think he's going anywhere. And he's already proven in the past that his teams get going in the Championship. So I think next season will be tough. Obviously, it's never going to be straightforward in the Championship. That's why it's one of the best leagues in the world. But I think it might be easier than this season. And then you've got the great away days at like Pompey coming up, which I cannot wait for. But yeah, that's the end of that video. That is my season review for the Boro. Let me know what you think. That's my first ever one I've done of those. I've just looked at the clock and it's coming up to 20 minutes and I can't believe I've been waffling on for that long. Got the kits here. I'm hoping next season we see some absolute bangers. Bring back the stripe. A blue and black away shirt would do as well. Area, if you're watching. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe with that red button bottom right of the screen. And bring on the Euros. I'm going out to Germany and my next focus is on England. So bring it on. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Up the Boro. Oi, you. Yes, you. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And please remember to hit the like and subscribe button if you want daily football content. And if you've got any football related videos you want to see me make, drop a comment and I'll see what I can do. Bang.